Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Dawn Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber with another great guest positively impacting our community. Today I welcome Orange County Bar Association President-elect May Sang. She's an intellectual property partner at Umberg Zipser LLP. The Orange County Bar Association's mission is to enhance the system of justice, to support the lawyers who serve it, and to assist the community served by it. Thank you, May, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you so much, Don, for having me here. It's a pleasure.
May, please share your journey as an immigrant to this country to being an attorney.
Sure. You know, Don, I moved to this country from China when I was 13 years old. And when I moved here, I moved to a little town in Indiana called Chesterton. Didn't speak a lot of English. And even though when I watched some shows when I was younger, thought being a lawyer is so cool, when I came to America, I just thought that's never going to happen because of my English is, just wasn't up to par at that time. Everyone said, you're Asian, you need to be a doctor. So I went that route and then realized that's really not what I wanted to do. And post-college, I did get a biology degree in genetics. I, looked around. One of my friends had some LSAT exams and they were taking that, which is the exam you need to take to go to law school. I say, I think I could do this. It just wasn't even in my radar. And then I took the LSAT. I went to law school after a couple years of working, and I just loved it. I just loved the law school experience, and I've been now practicing for over 22 years. And it's been quite the incredible journey that it's not something I ever thought I am able to do being an immigrant that came to this country. So I am so grateful to all the mentors I had, to the opportunities this country really affords, people like me.
Why did you think it was so cool as a young kid?
I watched this show. I was living in Hong Kong. For those of you who might remember, it was a British rule colony. So there was a legal movie. It was a big movie by Andy Lau, and he played this barrister who was defending a poor prostitute older lady. Turns out, the drama is, spoiler alert, is that the lady turns out to be his mom because he was an orphan and she was wrongly accused of a crime. And that movie just impacted me, because he was there doing good. And he also got to wear the cool wig and the robe because in English system, you wore that when you're a barrister. So I just thought, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to, get rid of injustice. I think that's what a lot of lawyers when they're younger thinking that they're going to do.
So as you were taking the LSAT, you realized you're excelling at this thing.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Dawn. I would say it's, it's not easy as anything, as you know. When I started wanting to be an attorney in America, I didn't know any other lawyers. We were, my mom just really struggled. She was a single mom raising me, and we come from a very modest family, and there was no somebody who would take me under their wing and say, hey, mate, this is what being a lawyer is like. So I really had no idea. I just know I wanted at least get a legal education to understand U.S. more, to understand how things work. I honestly think legal education should be, free to everybody just because it is so important, at least some of the fundamentals such as contract law, constitutional law, property law, torts. This is stuff you hear, you watch on TV all the time. It's good for, everybody to kind of have a basic understanding of that.
What is your role as an intellectual property partner at Umberg Zipser LLP?
Well, because of my science degree in undergrad, I was able to practice patent law, which means I help people come up, when they come up with a new idea, I help them put that into a document, submit it to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So it was kind of just serendipity that because I had that undergrad degree, that this was an avenue that was open to me, which I didn't even know at the time when I went to law school. And I just find it really rewarding. My practice today at Umberg Zipser is, beyond patent prosecution. I do a lot of general counseling work for clients that have come up with new ideas, to how to help them protect their intellectual property, how to get intellectual property for them, and then what to do once they get that. So it just really gets me excited because I get to work alongside with them, to shape their business, right? And you form these long-term relationship with your clients, and they're, you really are in there with them, and that's really satisfying.
What's the legal landscape in Orange County?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that, Dawn. I think most people probably don't realize that this is the part I'm going to give you some stats, right? We have about, 3.2 to 3.4 million people in the county, I think. And we have about 20,000 attorneys in this county. And when you think about the vast county that we have, the number of people we have, there are so many needs, and legal needs is one of those things that you never know when it arises. But I'll assure you of this, almost everybody's going to have some legal issue at some point in their lives. Whether, it's with buying a property, whether or not it's setting up a business, whether they have elder parents, they need, wills and trusts, or in situations, landlord-tenant, or they're involved in accidents, or unfortunately they have to get divorced. Whatever it is, you might need a lawyer. So the legal landscape in Orange County is very robust. We used to be thought sort of as the second tier left over from Los Angeles, but that's really not the case anymore. We have over 100 Superior Court judges here in this county, right? We have about 8 courthouses. We have an appeals courthouse right here. We handle complex cases. We handle state court cases. We also handle federal court cases. So it's a very robust county. We also have what's called collaborative courts, which is a very innovative thing that, the courts have done here in Orange County. It's a really a leading innovation across the country. And these are specialty courts that deal with special issues such as, veterans, homelessness, juveniles, drug abuse, those type of things, which really speed up the process and really give a lot more practical remedies. And it's really quite something.
What's the role the Orange County Bar Association plays in the legal landscape in Orange County?
Well, the Orange County Bar Association, the shorthand for OCBA, which I am just, been a lifesaver for me. I've been at this county since 2006, and I joined the bar since 2007. It's one of the largest bar in California. And again, we have about 7,000 members. And the bar, as you wonderfully read the mission statement, is there really to support the community, to support the lawyers, and to support justice. So we have a robust number of programs. First of all, it breaks down the bar in sections. So as any lawyer, you might be practicing different types of law. So each type of practice has their own section: the business litigation section, the corporate section, trust and estate section, family law section, immigration section, intellectual property and technology section. So there's over 26 sections that, for attorneys to go and learn what's going on in those areas of practice, because they need to be up to date with the newest law and updates. And it's also a place for them to network, to connect with each other, which I think is really important. Beyond that, we have a robust number of committees, and these things range from community outreach committee, which, we do events, we do beach cleanup, we do pack boxes of food. We partner up with a lot of local organizations. And we have also pro bono committee, which, provides pro bono legal services to our community. We have LRIS, that stands for Lawyer Referral and Information System Services. And this is where if you have a legal issue, you don't know who to call, anybody in our county, you could call OCBA's LRIS and they will direct you. They give you some direction of, okay, this sounds like this particular issue, you could go here. They'll give you lawyers. They will connect you with lawyers that can help you with that. So, and we have, we also, Orange County Bar has a charitable arm. It's called the Charitable Fund. And they put on 2 major fundraising programs a year. One of them is actually coming up this Thursday. It's Raise Your Glass. And these events raise significant amount of money, and we distribute it to all the nonprofit legal organizations in the county, which is also partners with OCBA. We call them affiliate bars. And these range from Public Law Center, the Community Legal Aid Center of SoCal. We have Hispanic Bar Association, Orange County Asian Bar Association. We have Project Self, which helps students from disadvantaged neighborhood to get jobs in a law firm to summer while they were in high school to get that experience. We have Constitutional Rights Foundation, which, if listeners have ever participated in any mock trial programs in high school, that's the organization that administered that. So there are just so many wonderful legal organizations in this county, and the Orange County Bar serves as sort of the umbrella bar to invite everybody. Every year we have a summer mixer where we invite, law students, we invite the affiliate bar members, we invite members to come and just get to know each other. So, that's an important part of Orange County Bar. I always say my little tagline, so to speak, for my year next year is to, be curious and connect with people and then make changes.
What are the general issues facing attorneys, such as AI technology, DEI efforts, and government resources?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that. I think, having practiced over 2 decades, I see that just like any profession, we constantly have to change and evolve with the times. So, and I'll break this down a little bit. I think, first, I just want to talk about the profession in general. There has been the State Bar of California and many bars around the country been trying to figure out ways to provide more access to justice, because we have a lot of folks in our county, as you know. A lot of them are low income, or even if they have the means, they don't really know how to get the legal services they need. So how do we bridge that gap for people to be able to have more affordable legal services, have more access to it? So the State Bar is trying to come up with a variety of different ways. For example, one of them is to have sort of a less rigorous State Bar exam, right? Now, as you can imagine, this is also concerning for a lot of attorneys who's had to take the 3-day bar. Now we're already at 2-day. So there's a question of, what is the legal profession? What are we doing here? How are we going to balance, the standard versus the ability to provide access, right? Now, along that discussion, you're talking about AI technology, which we cannot ignore. This is sort of in every facet of our lives now, and it's just going to become more and more part of what we do. And in the legal profession, there's already so many so-called AI providers in terms of helping attorneys, to do their job more efficiently, to do it better. But this is also a challenge, not just the legal industry, many industry face of what does that mean, sort of for the industry. What does that mean? That a lawyer is going to be out of a job because AI is taking over? So I think we're in this very interesting time period where we're trying to figure out. It's just like when, the internet first came on, and before we were doing legal research with just books, and then we had to move to internet. And there was that scare of like, oh my goodness, this means everybody can just do search. They don't need lawyers anymore. Well, that's not the case, right? And I think the same thing is here. I think we're still going to need lawyers. When people are in need of legal services, they still want to talk to a human, at least for now. I can't predict in the future how that's going to evolve. But for the time being, I think, we as in the legal profession kind of have a duty to figure out how to incorporate that, how to make it more accessible, how to make it more efficient. And frankly, if we don't, we're left behind. I mean, someone else is going to do it. And in terms of DI efforts, I think that's very important in our legal field, because you just look at the population we serve, right? I mean, I love living in Orange County. I have moved so many times in my life. Besides China, I've lived across, the globe. And I love Orange County. I love being here. And part of the reason is we're so diverse with our nationalities, with the different languages we speak, with different backgrounds. And, we have these like 34 incorporated cities and even a few dozen more if we county unincorporated. So I want people to think about DI is that we need to make sure we have attorneys that have, understanding of various people's backgrounds, language, culture, and different point of view, being able to, do the practice of law, and where they feel like they, people that need those services can see that, oh, I have some representation here, So I think those efforts are really important, and whether it's on a small scale or large corporations, it's important to continue those efforts.
And government resources?
In government resources, as I touched earlier, there are a lot of resources out there. We have one of the, I think, a fantastic court, the Orange County Superior Courts. The presiding judge is Judge Maria Hernandez, and you should definitely interview her. She's fabulous. What a great inspiration, mentor to me, to many. And there are a lot of resources in terms, I talked about the collaborative courts, and if there are issues that ended up being whatever that issue is, you have to end up going to court. There are resources there to help you. I want to highlight Community Legal Aid of SoCal. That's an organization I was president of, about a year ago, and they have been around for 65 years. And what they do is they provide. They have staff. They have attorneys on hand. They have about 56 attorneys. Overall, there's over 150 staff in general to really provide legal services to those that are in need. Sometimes they do have low bono, but most of it's pro bono. And that ranges from everything to housing, to elder issues, to domestic violence, to just anything you could think of. They have an amazing team of folks that speak different languages. So obviously, it's not just English speaking folks that need help. And I think, that's a place where folks can go to. We have Public Law Center, which also provide pro bono services. And they partner up generally with firms in our county to provide that service. So that's another way. We have Veterans Legal Institute, which is run by my good friend Antoinette Nabu, another fabulous woman you should have on your show. And, it's to help veterans with their legal issues, right? So then there's plenty of others too, such as Laura's House, Human Option, those that are dealing with domestic violence victims. So I think that the resources is out there. Sometimes it's challenging to look, but this is why I say the OCBA serves as that umbrella bar. So if you have any needs, if you or your friends, you need to help somebody, that's where you should go first, to ask the bar.
So those are the kinds of services that the OC Bar Association offers?
Yes, they will connect you with the right resource. And I think that's important, because sometimes that's where the challenge lies.
What about the law schools in Orange County?
Oh, Don, that's a great question. We have fabulous law school here in Orange County. We have just sort of the main three are the UC Irvine School of Law. We have Chapman University Law School, and we have Western. And, they really, what's great is you often hear this as a law student. You want to go to the law school in the area you want to practice, right? So it's wonderful. We have these law schools, and they have some amazing programs there that students can come out of there and then transition into our legal community, because ideally we want to maintain those students in our county. We don't want them to be recruited out, because once you establish connection here, you don't. It's great to be able to keep them. So we UCI Law, for example, it's relatively new. It's only been around for a little over a decade, but they're one of the top tier schools in the country, and all three of them have very innovative clinics. So students, besides going to law school and thinking of that traditional, scary, Socratic method of just answering questions where the professor is trying to scare you, they actually get hands-on experiences. They deal with real-life issues. The clinics open up to the public, so they have to help the public with a variety of different legal issues, from asylum, from housing, from elder abuse. So as I said earlier, we really are a county of its own right, where you could come here, you could get a fulfilling legal education, and you could have a wonderful legal career.
Is being a lawyer, has this met your expectation of being a lawyer or went beyond your expectations?
That's a big question, and I have to say really went beyond my expectation. I've never thought I was able to, I manage a team now at one of the best law firms in the county, Umber Zipser. Tom Umberg is one of our partner who is a state senator. Dean Zipser, he is like the godfather of the county. He's been president of almost every single these bar organizations. And the team is just top notch. And most importantly, that it really satisfies me that I know we're providing great services to the clients that are in need. And also have an outlet of being part of the Orange County Bar, being part of the community legal aid to even do more outreach, right? And I love being busy. This is a job that you will be busy. You'll be challenged. It's not easy. I really want to emphasize that. I mean, people see it on TV. You wear fancy suits and, talk fast. But in reality, it's a lot of nitty-gritty work. It's a lot of, late nights, evenings, weekends. But the sacrifices are worth it. I have two boys, 15 and 17, and they are proud of what I do because I am proud of what I do. And I think I could tell them, hey, I can't make it to dinner tonight, but I'm doing this important thing, and they understand. And yet we have such a supportive county. I practice in Cook County in Chicago and also LA County briefly. And I just have to say, Orange County is unparalleled. It's huge, but it feels like a small town environment where everybody's looking out for you. I made some of my best friends today through my relationship with OCBA. They just call you and look out for you and say, May, what's going on? You okay? Here. And they help you when you have career questions, have, whatever. You need somebody. You need a community. This is not a job you can do alone. So from that perspective, I love what I do. I'm so grateful to be here. I got a fantastic team and a great community.
How can people reach out to the Bar Association?
The website is ocbar.org. And on that website, there's a lot of resources, a lot of information. But you can go from there to check out, for example, the lawyer referral information services. And it can also connect you to all the affiliate bars that I talked about, such as Community Legal Aid, Public Law Center, Veterans Legal Institute.
Thank you, Orange County Bar Association President-elect May Sang, who is an intellectual property partner at Umberg Zipser LLP, for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.